want to talk today about selling goats. We're going to talk today about pricing and breed and where to sell and home requirements, things like that. So we've been selling goats for almost 14 years, and we've learned over time that in order to do what's best for both your customer and the goat, you need to make sure that you're following a few simple principles. One of them is to make sure you do your research and pricing. You don't want to under or over price your goat. So you need to go on pages on the internet and take a look at what everybody's charging. You can go on private farm pages. You can go on Craigslist. You can go on Facebook pages and look around at what's going on in the market for your area. If you venture outside your area, you may wind up looking at like farm country. Goats are going to be really cheap. Other states, goats may be different prices. Now there's a lash up. So make sure you research for your area. And don't go by what's free or what's way cheap, because those are people that are trying to unload, and that has nothing to do with you as a goat seller.
Also cut off the most expensive prices, because those are like show goats or something.
So you're kind of looking for a median price, an average price, because you do not want to be too high, and you do not want to be too low, because if you devalue the animal, you devalue it for all farmers who are trying to sell their goats, and that's not fair to the market. Auctions do not count in pricing, you guys. Auctions are people that are trying to get rid of their goat fast. So don't go by auction prices. Okay, so know your breed. Pricing can depend on breed. Like Callie here is a registered, sorry, I don't even know what she is. It's midnight, y'all, okay? She's a registered Nigerian. I'll get it out eventually. Whereas Ella here is an unregistered mixed breed goat. Now, we value them differently. We will value all purebreds the same, registered or not, because like your wethers of the registerable breeds, you're not going to have them registered anyway, because there's no point, and there's no way to do that in the registrations.
And if you're honest, registering is cheap, so you shouldn't be charging a bunch of money for registering.
Yes, registering is cheap, guys, so don't try to...
It's like $10 for a girl and $13 for a boy. It's almost nothing.
Yes. By the way, it's the same on most other animals, just so we know. So know what breed it is. If you don't know what breed it is, then look around at mixed breeds. Take a guess at it, but don't sell it as a certainty, by the way, unless you know for sure what breed it is, who it was bred to, whatever, if it was a baby. Because you don't want to misapply a title that the goat does not deserve. We've had that happen to us, and it's not fun. Or funny, by the way. Okay, where to sell? Facebook groups. You can go on certain Facebook groups for specific breeds if you know your breed of your goat, and sell on there.
Be careful about mentioning price, though, because Facebook does not like people selling animals.
And you can, we've sold on Craigslist for years. Newspapers, as we all know, are kind of a thing of the past. But you could advertise in a newspaper if you'd like. Now, also, we recommend home requirements for your goats. So you make sure that the home they're going to is suitable. Some people will only sell goats in more than one, usually in pairs. We will sell goats singly with the understanding that the goat needs a herd member and that it's going to be very lonely without it, and you're going to have to spend a lot of time, and it's still not going to be enough. We have simple home requirements, but we're very stringent about them. House it not in your house, because many people have tried. In a stall, in a four-sided structure, not a dog house, and at least have minimal requirements for what you think is proper shelter, not a dog house. They need to be in out of the rain. They need to have their shelter attached to their grazing area or their fenced area. so they can come and go at will, but they do need a door to their structure. Now, these are just the guidelines we've come up with from experience, guys, and usually it's because a goat ended up dead that we sold somebody, or injured. So also, recommend and demand that they learn how to trim hooves. There's an escapee. And that they will trim the hooves every 2 weeks to a month. And if they don't agree to that, if they start talking about veterinarians and farriers, you need to demand that they know how to do it themselves. Show them how to do it. And if at all possible, let them experiment in doing it.
We even provide hoof shears when we have them.
Yep, providing hoof shears brings home the fact that we expect you to trim the goat's hooves.
We got a lady that crippled her goat by not trimming the hooves.
Every single one of our home requirements comes out of experience. And then the last one is the easiest one that most people fail on: feed the goat. If you're going to seek a buyer that's a responsible buyer, they will be willing to feed hay and grain to this goat. If they're not willing to do that, don't sell to them. Most people want to chuck them in a field, and they cannot live on just what's in a field. Sorry, guys, to burst your bubble.
Especially not if you're breeding.
They don't always need grain. Depends on the quality of your hay, but we do recommend it. So this has been Selling Your Goat 101 Part 1. Make sure you watch Part 2.